Hello and welcome to Do's and Tamriel with me, Scarydrew, and I'm here with Scarydoo.
Hi.
And today we are going to be traveling through Bal Foyen, continuing our journey after we left Bleak Rock Isle. And the last time we left off, we were making a decision on whether or not to go to the Fort Zarin to rescue Fort Zarin at the cost of the Bal Foyen dockyards, or if we go to Captain Rana at the Bal Foyen dockyards and save them at the expense of Fort Zarin being destroyed because of the Daggerfall Covenant attacking, which started in Bleak Rock Isle and has now spread to Bal Foyen. And so, while we do that, we're going to be talking about, of course, the big announcement today was the Elder Scrolls Online in March for the PC, and the console will be released as a buy-to-play model, not a free-to-play model, a buy-to-play model, and that is very important because there's a huge difference between free-to-play and buy-to-play. Buy-to-play, well, there's different versions. There's the buy-to-play in, like, Guild Wars 2, where you have to buy the base game, but then there's no subscription fee, and you are free to play the game. There's also the buy-to-play, where the game is either free, or you have to buy the base game, and then you have to pay for new content, much like Lord of the Rings Online. And then there's just flat-out free-to-play, much in the realm of Star Wars The Old Republic, or Lord of the Rings Online, where the game is free and there's no subscription fee, so at any given moment you can pick up and play the game as much as you want. The key difference here is in a free-to-play model, when you don't have to buy the base game and you don't have to pay a subscription fee, it opens up the game to a lot of trolling and gold cell spam and a lot of negative things like that. And one of the biggest problems with a free-to-play or even many buy-to-play models is that the game becomes centrally focused on the cash shop, because that is the key source of income for the game, for the developers, for ZeniMax in this case. And rather than getting substantial enjoyable content updates, you instead get a new pretty pink pony that costs you $5, and that's how they make their money. And for a lot of people, this is what was great about Elder Scrolls, was that it was a subscription model that did not have that. There was, every 6 weeks, there was a huge update with a huge new content. Well, I think that's still going to be the case, because this is a buy-to-play model, not like I've seen in other MMOs. The key difference being that for the $15 a month fee that you are already paying for your subscription, you will in fact still get those free content updates. When they release a DLC, someone who wants to play for free can then purchase the DLC, but if you pay the $15 a month, you will not have to. The additional benefits is you will get 1,500 crowns per month as a Plus member with the $15 a month, and that will give you cash shop items. That is, the cash shop currency is crowns, much like gems or things like that in like mobile games. And additionally, you will get 10% increased experience, 10% increased gold, 10% increased inspiration points from crafting, and 10% reduced research times. That is where a lot of people take issue, because it sounds a lot like a buy-to-win system. In other words, in order to be a top-tier character, in order to be competitive, in order to participate in-game, you have to spend real dollars and buy gear, buy items, buy whatever. The difference here is, while yes, you will have to pay to get those advantages, it is asking you to pay the fee you would normally be paying in the subscription model. So now all that's happening is you will maintain your $15 a month subscription, but in addition to that, you'll have access to free 1,500 crowns a month to use in the cash shop, and all of these additional perks to experience gold and everything else. So I really don't see any issue with this model, other than the slippery slope argument, which is that if the developers become dependent on the money made from the cash shop, then their efforts are going to be geared more towards the cash shop, and that can encourage them to create a system where the, they may be encouraged to allow you to make gold off of items you buy in the cash shop. That's something that Star Wars The Old Republic, I believe, has, where you can buy an item, a vanity item, or whatever it is in the cash shop, then sell it to another player at a high cost because everybody wants the item. They then turn and take that gold, which it basically is buying gold with cash, and then buying high-tiered items to make them as powerful as possible, essentially being a buy-to-win. That is not the case with the Elder Scrolls Online model as it stands now and as they intend it to be. Whether or not that changes, time will tell. It is definitely a concern that people should have, but I don't think that that's going to happen, at least not right away. And we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. Obviously, without the subscription fee, they'll still be making $15 a month off of people who want the Plus membership. I feel like people will be interested in that. I feel like there's a lot of people who were jumping ship on this game because of this announcement initially, and then the ESO live stream happened, and I think that calmed a lot of people down. I think a lot of people realized this is not as dramatic of a change as they thought, and that it won't ruin the game. And I really feel like this, as it stands now, will not ruin the game. What are your thoughts on it?
Wait, oh, you're talking to me?
Yes.
First of all, my thoughts are that you were standing in there for a goddamn long time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got distracted by talking.
It's okay. I was dancing around you, and then you look at me like I'm an idiot. You know what? Give me a second. Because the second I switch windows, you're like ready to go, and you're like looking over, like, get back in the game. Hello, we're obviously not just standing here for a long period of time.
The reason for that is when I saw you alt tab, it made me realize, oh crap, we're just standing here doing nothing.
I know, that's why I was standing
so it's like, oh
you.
crap, we gotta probably run around and do something. I've decided that because that woman's daughter was at the docks, we're gonna go rescue her and help Captain Rana. I don't know anybody at the Fort Zarin.
I see that you've made the executive decision, which is fine. I made the joke earlier when your mic was messed up because you were kind of going over the same thing that I'm the teller today. So, which is completely okay because you have a
not like a bank teller, like pen and teller.
Yeah, like pen and teller. You have the except I'm the short, scrawny one, but you have the. Oh wait, that is
teller,
yeah. Wait,
and I'm the large fat one,
I don't.
which is
I get confused easily. That's why you're the one who talks about this stuff. Oh, excuse you. Now we're just standing here while you switch windows.
We need to talk to this guy and.
Who somebody is pretending to like?
No, we need to talk to this Argonian here, Elvin Skips. Oh, 11 Skips. I'm sorry.
Oh! I had already done so. Honestly, my thoughts on it are essentially the exact same as yours, but partly because I don't know shit. I mean, my highest level character is our other character with you. Shit, your horse disappeared. You're just a crown. There it is again. I hate that. At least it didn't last. You know a lot more. I mean, I haven't played video games in years. This is very, very new to me. I'm trying to learn it. I'm a complete beginner, and I'm bad at it. I don't believe in maps. I mean, they're against my religion because I'm so bad at everything, including reading a goddamn simple map. I'm facing the wrong way, things like that. I do agree with you. I mean, I've followed gaming enough that I definitely know where people are coming from with their concerns. You know, I like watching other people play games, so I know some about that. But I've also seen the kind of obnoxious people that, you know, are in free-to-play games. But knowing what little I know, I mean, I completely agree with you. I don't have any educated anything on it. But I don't think it's going to cause problems. Like you said, unless for some reason it incentivizes them to see that they're making assloads of money on you know, pay, whatever the word for it is. Yeah, thank you. If they, I don't see them going that route though. I mean, they've already followed a pretty unique model, and they've been really good about dedicating their money to developing a lot of new things, a lot of patches, a lot of upgrades, a lot of updates that are well liked. They listen to their community. I don't see them going a different direction from that.
Well, that brings up a great point, because Agelos from Tales of Tamriel, he was on Twitter and he said that he was ending the show, and part of the reason for that was that he has played Guild Wars 2, he played Rift, he did not like what happened to those games being free to play. And I made the point that, well, World of Warcraft is a subscription-based game. And while it is the most popular MMO, and probably will always be the most popular MMO in history...
Hold up, am I doing something in here before I
No, you just leave it. We were just opening the door.
Okay, I had gone in after you. I wanted to make sure I wasn't missing something, because that's how bad at video games I am. Sorry to cut you off.
So, World of Warcraft being a popular game, there's still a lot of things about it that I don't like. And some of that was stuff I didn't know that I didn't like until I played Elder Scrolls Online, and I said, oh, well, this is a lot better of a system.
Oh, yeah.
So that's comparing two subscription-based models, and you end up with two completely different games. They treat their fan base two completely different ways.
Oh,
World of Warcraft is infamous for hiding information, not revealing information, not taking care of their fan base. And
I feel like they actually sort of in a big way depend on the addictive aspect, to the point where they're willing to rip their fans off. It's not worth the price. There's so much farming and gold and buying shit, and it's just, like I said, I think they rely on the addictive aspect if people aren't going to drop their subscriptions after all that work.
And so with that in mind, what's to say that, okay, Lord of the Rings Online has a buy-to-play system. A lot of people don't like it for that reason. Well, this isn't Lord of the Rings Online. This is Elder Scrolls Online. This isn't Rift. This isn't Guild Wars 2. And this isn't a free-to-play model in the first place. What this is its own independent game with developers who have shown time and time again, by completely abandoning... Imagine how many years... Well, I shouldn't say years, but months and months and months that they worked on the veteran rank system. It goes live, people don't like it, they complain, and they scrap it completely and spend several more months working on a completely new system because they listen to the fan base. They care about their fan base.
Hello there.
Now, the decision to go free-to-play in any game, or buy-to-play, or whatever model that is, typically that comes from higher-up executives. That does not come from the developers. The developers deal with developing the game. They don't deal with the business side, typically. I'm sure they have some input into it because they know their fan base. They know they have some insight into their demographic and what effects certain decisions can have. But ultimately, just because the developers have shown that they are loyal to their fan base does not mean that things will not happen in this game that go against the fan base. And that may not be coming from the developers. It may be coming from higher-up execs. But that being said, this game has time and time again shown that they do the right thing, and if they don't, they fix it. And they are open, they are honest. I said earlier, I think the biggest mistake they made was when they removed the 6-month subscription option, that they claimed it was because no one was using it, and that is now shown to be a lie. That's not. It was because they were a couple weeks away from going buy to play. And that's very uncharacteristic. They would have been better off saying nothing about it, which would have led to everybody speculating about free-to-play and buy-to-play.
Yeah.
Which they did anyways, because the excuse, the reasoning was so lame, it actually opened the door, in my opinion, for more speculation.
Yeah.
Because you know that they're lying. If they say we can't say we have something in the works, people will think it's free-to-play, but there's going to be people who say, oh, they must have something else going on, who knows?
Well, I don't get it, because they've done that in the past with, hey, we can't quite talk about this yet, something's in the works. But I do think that kind of what Tales of Tamriel, as far as ending the podcast, and I mean, other people who are pretty mad and want to quit, I mean, give it a chance. What are you going to lose at this point? You probably already have a subscription. If you don't, you already have the game, so go, do the free-to-play thing and give that a try. They've consistently had a different model from the get-go. Even for a subscription game, like you said. So I don't see a precedent that they're going to go the route of other games that have messed those things up. They've kind of set it up in a really foolproof way to make it easy to try it out, see how you feel about it. And I think, I mean, one of the things that I saw, and I haven't been reading about it as much today because I was busy at work. Sorry, I had to insult you there. But one of the things that I was seeing a lot of on Reddit, and you know, Reddit bitches about everything, including myself, but just so many people saying they're going to come back to the game to try this. That they bought the game. Well, there's your waste of $60 and whatever you paid in subscription fees up until the point where you decided you were done with it.
Yeah. We have to go up here.
Oh, okay.
We've been sitting here fighting, and I realized that nothing was
Yeah.
getting done, and then I realized we're at the wrong spot.
You are so distracted so easily. I'm just following you because, again,
Yes,
I don't map. I don't anything. But, I mean, that's the other thing about this game. You have somebody like me who's a complete beginner, who's shit at games, versus someone like you. You're not, like, super addicted all the time on there, but you're a seasoned gamer.
Yes.
And you know, you're vet rank 14 on your one character, and then you can step back, do the storyline with me on our other character, have a good time talking while we start from the beginning, and it seems like it doesn't feel redundant. I mean, I'm just kind of putting words in your mouth there, but it's an extremely good game, and if it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea.
Well,
but I'm sorry, just to real quick, just to completely abandon a game that you're, especially one that you're super into, because you're concerned about the system and you're concerned it's going to go south. I mean, I know it's really devastating to see something you love go south, but at least give it that chance. You know, stick it out.
Well, you make a good point in that the type of player that this affects most is the hardcore gamer. Because the hardcore gamer wants new in-game content. They want to spend hours and hours every day, every week, and go in there and grind it out and get their world first downing of a boss.
I sure as hell am not going to know the difference. So.
Well, and honestly,
not yet anyway.
Well, and in a free-to-play system, you don't get that. I understand that. First of all, I don't think that's happening in Elder Scrolls Online.
But that's what I don't get. You are still going to get that content as far as what they're saying.
People don't believe it. A lot of people don't believe it. People have seen it happen before.
Yeah, I see what
And
you're
you know
saying.
what? I've seen a lot of things happen in MMOs before that happened over and over and over again in every single new MMO that
You
came out.
suck.
They all
You
did
can't
the same
jump
thing.
over the wall.
I know. And it didn't happen in Elder Scrolls Online. There's a lot of things that people thought was going to happen to Elder Scrolls Online that did not happen to Elder Scrolls Online because it is a different game. Just because
kind of the
every other
thing.
game has gone this route, if it were any other game, then I would hesitate to say that.
Right.
But
Sorry,
every other
fine,
game
fine.
that came out was all the same, and then they all went the same route. Well, this is a completely different game, so it leads me to believe that this will go a completely different route.
That's very much how I feel about it. Now, I mean, kind of what you were saying, they had set such a seriously good precedent by being different from the beginning, by having a different model, by listening to people. I also think you make an excellent point. They set a really bad precedent by lying about this. That was one area, and again, you know, no comment. That's really easy to say. They've done it before.
Or like you said, I really like we have something in the works we can't talk about
Oh,
right now.
yeah, it makes it seem positive and exciting, you
No
know,
matter
and whatever. I mean, people are gonna bitch because that's what people do all the time. I mean, whether you change things, whether you don't, like, people aren't gonna like it, and that's fine. And you're gonna have people who do like it, which already you do. But again, setting the precedent of we're gonna lie about this is the perfect ammo and the perfect motivation for people to somewhat validly say, well, I don't believe that they're not going to turn into that, you know, system where they end up exploiting it by letting you pay to win. I mean, right now it's not, but it's like, well, what's to say they're not going to change it to that because they stupidly lied about this whole thing to begin with.
Exactly.
But I mean, that's given the rest of the precedents they've set, I think that's a pretty small risk.
Well, the other important thing to remember is Update 1.6, which is going to include the Justice system and the Champion system, is coming to the game as it is now.
That's true.
You do not have to pay extra to unlock that.
That's really good.
What I'm curious of is whether or not the Imperial City, which will be in Cyrodiil, which is a very highly anticipated release in a future update, I'm wondering if they're going to make that a DLC, which, again, I don't care. Because in order to get that for free, you pay the $15 a month that you're already paying.
Well,
that does not change anything.
That's a huge part of why I support it. And when you told me that, especially because they're not raising the price, that's big. Like the free thing, the only criticisms I think are valid are the fears that it's going to go south where they have kind of a pay-to-win system. But as long as they don't do that, you've either bought the game and you're not playing it because it's not free right now, or you're going to play it and pay for the subscription fee. It's essentially the same thing. They're calling it something different, but it's a subscription. I mean, it's just opening it up.
We're going to Davin's Watch.
Davin's Watch, you want me to just travel to you because I am bad at maps?
Yeah, you can just travel. Give it a minute, let me load first.
Yeah, that's fine. So that's kind of my main thought on it is I know it's not a subscription, but it essentially is. You're getting the same things you were getting before if you're paying for it.
They found a way, and this is what I love about ZeniMax and the way that they do things. They found a way to go free to play without affecting their core base of fans and their subscribers.
Right.
In fact, just as a little boon for you, your $15 a month will now get you more in the game than you are currently getting. You will get everything that you currently have and more at no additional cost to you, and I find that to be fantastic. You will get your 1,500 crowns per month.
Two things. I'm not to you yet. The other thing is everybody take a shot every time Drew forces the word boon into his conversation. He's really into it.
I used it earlier, and I used it very organically. It makes more sense, and I used it outside of a video game conversation. It makes sense.
You've been using it for like the last few days, and then every now and then you'll be like, I said boon.
Because that's a great word. You get the 1,500 crowns a month that you can buy pets, costumes, vanity items, mounts.
Fun.
You can get a Guar mount. Okay, that is something you couldn't get currently.
Is so fun. I can't wait for that.
And
they're so cute.
You get the 10% increase to gold experience inspiration points and the 10% reduction in the research time.
ZeniMax, hear me out. Can I please ride a bull netch? One of the babies.
That is something that people really would like to see. In fact, it was in...
I thought I was being original here.
No, I think it was in Morrowind or something that was the fast travel system, was you would ride a bull netch from one place to another place.
Well, see, I'm uneducated.
Similar to the Way Shrine system in Elder Scrolls Online.
See, like I said, I'm very uneducated on games because I did not know that major element of what I was talking about.
We come from Bal Foyen.
I have news for you, bro. But I don't have your other eye.
They're fighting the Covenant right now. So we saved the docks. Covenant's attacking Davin's Watch. I'll stand with you, Holgan.
And you'll stand where you're needed.
I just hit one of the options without looking. I'm real sorry. I picked the first one.
It takes us all to the same place.
Okay. I didn't even read it. I was like, whatever.
So let's go.
You'll what?
He asked if I wanted to walk with him or if I had other things to do. All
right, let's do this. Let's roll
with him.
I think that's what I picked too. I forgot what I was gonna say. Where were we talking? I interrupted you with the boon thing, and then I wanted a bull neck because I got excited.
I'm saying that you're getting the same game for the same price, and then some.
So, what you're telling me is they are going to slowly convert this game into Farmville. Got it. And they're going to put it on Facebook, and all the women in their mid-50s...
Now, hold on a second.
All the women in their mid-50s are going to ask me if I want to fertilize their farm.
I would not be opposed to this game having a Facebook link.
Stop.
And I mean simply...
No!
I mean simply that you can post your achievements or accomplishments on Facebook. I do like when games have that.
Just do it manually.
Well, you can do it manually.
Take
that's
a screenshot. I don't know if everybody knows this, but Scary here is the master of parkouring around the entire game and standing.
I'll cop to that.
Yeah, like standing on top of things you did not think could be stood atop of, and then playing the lute and dancing and laying down, which is always hilarious. And he's got screenshots. Those are the kinds of things you should be posting on Facebook when you want to look cool and get popular.
Fair enough.
Otherwise, it's gonna be like discovered a lore book. Like every 30 seconds, like you get an achievement of some sort in this game. That's so embarrassing. Your destruction stuff leveled to 4. Like nobody cares.
Well, I'm not saying that it would be automatic. I'm saying more that you could choose to, and that's not really an achievement. That's a skill up. But
yeah,
but
I know. I'm just being an
that brings me back to my point though, is that you're getting the justice system, you're getting the champion system. You have that in place. Again, this is excluding your hardcore gamers, but I don't think that's a large population of the Elder Scrolls Online community. This is a game like I've never seen before, where I've never seen a game where most of the players have not had a character reach max level. And maybe that's just me. I don't have statistics on that. I'm just conjecturing. But I don't think most of the players in this game, if you looked at most of the accounts, I don't think most of them would have a max level character on their account. And that's not the same with other MMOs. Most other MMOs, people rush to max level.
Or they buy their way in,
yeah, exactly.
Even when it's a damn
subscription
World of Warcraft,
you get an automatic
service.
level 90 now.
Oh, you know what? I was trying not to name names here, but I guess I was alluding to it, and you picked up on the fact that I was talking about a game. You're picking up. We're 5x5.
We're 5x5.
So you recognize that I was talking about a game that starts with W and ends with World of Warcraft. I can't even say it.
I thought you were gonna say it starts with W and ends with ow.
I thought about it, but I decided to go all in.
This guy is a little bit harder.
A little stronger. I actually remember this just from the beginning. Oh yeah, that was like a perfect bash. I just want to put that out there. I had a sweet bash.
So that being said, if you eliminate those hardcore gamers, and again, most players I've found in this game are playing casually. This game as it stands right now, and I said it on Twitter earlier, this game could become a single-player game, and I would still be interested in playing it and streaming it online, because it already has, right now, enough content to keep me interested for years and years to come.
Oh, it has tons of content.
And, you know, if you're the type of player that likes to skip through the quests, which I did, on my main character I did. I wanted to get to max level, I wanted to do some trials and stuff.
You really wanted that vet rank. Like, you got hardcore into getting your vet rank and skipped through the storyline, which is why we have our little baby characters.
Well, and part
our
of
sweet
that,
little stupid low level.
Part of that was me becoming a hardcore gamer, which I did not want to do in this game.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that ever again. I raided in World of Warcraft, where I literally
I
was in a guild where, in fact, they got the server first of the Lich King 2 weeks after I left the guild, and the reason was because their server first was after about a month and a half of 5 days a week, 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, going in there and running it over and over. And you reach a certain point, and this is the really frustrating part. You reach a certain point where you have figured out the early bosses. See, when in World of Warcraft, it's a little bit different than Trials in Elder Scrolls Online. You have a 1 week lockout. So if you go in with a group of people, you get and you kill the first boss, you get a lockout ID. That means that if you try to go in with a different group, if you're the leader, they'll get saved to your lockout ID, and the first boss will already be dead. If you join,
I do remember you telling me about this.
If you join their group, you will not see them. You'll be in a different dungeon instance than they are, because you have a different lockout ID.
Okay.
So you have to go with the core same people. That's why it's very guild heavily, done, because you have to have the same people. You can bring somebody else in. Sometimes they'll ask, hey, we already got the first 4 bosses down. Do you mind coming in? And then you get locked to that dungeon or that raid that has the first 4 bosses down, so you can't do the first 4 bosses that week if you decide to go with that group.
Right.
That was one of my ancestors.
So what that means is when you first go into a brand new place, like we did with Wrath of the Lich King, into I almost called it Ice Cream Citadel. That's what people call it, is Ice Cream Citadel.
Is somebody hungry? Hey, that guy's nose ring looks like my old one.
It does look pretty awesome.
If you need a guide, speak to Garin.
So, Ice Crown Citadel, we went in there for the first time when it first came out, and we died a bunch on the first few bosses.
Yeah.
because we didn't know them very well.
And then you guys cussed each other out like Xbox kids, and were like, "Fuck you, man! You fucked that shit up. You fuck."
No, that wasn't until later.
Oh, okay.
So you get the
like
first.
blamed each other.
You usually end up doing the first few bosses more than you'll ever do any other boss, because those first ones you do over and over again until you get them down. So then the next week you go in. Now you've got the first, say, 3-4 bosses. You know how to do it. So you get those down real quick, and then you get the next 4 bosses or whatever it is.
Okay.
And you keep doing that, and then eventually you reach a point where you can pretty much fly through the rest of it. I mean, when you first get to the Lich King, so that's like, there's like 8, 9, 10, I think there's like 11 bosses total. So you get to the boss before the Lich King, you down it, it's at the end of the raid night on the last day of the week, before it resets, you get one chance at fighting the Lich King. And then it resets, and then you have to start all over again the next week. Well, then the next week you get the first 11 bosses down a little bit quicker. So now you're, instead of facing the Lich King on the last hour of the last day, you're on the second to last day. So you get a full day of Lich King.
Is that lockout just to keep you subscribed longer?
It's designed so
to
that
annoy me.
it's designed for this very reason. You reach a point where you get all the 11 bosses down on the first day.
Yeah.
And now you have 4 more days to do the Lich King without having to clear out the first.
I understand.
See, in Elder Scrolls Online, you don't get that. And now in Elder Scrolls Online, they don't have any trials.
Yeah.
That, other than Dragonstar Arena is really the only one where it's 10 full rounds, so there's 10 bosses, so that's really long. But in Elder Scrolls Online...
Oh my god, isn't that like a minimum, like 3-4 hour commitment when you start doing Arena?
It's a long commitment, especially if it's veteran.
And again, a lot of that, not so much at each other, because people in this game seem to be a lot nicer, but a whole lot of cussing.
Yeah, we need to go burn some siege weapons over here.
Hey, remember the time that you got to the final boss in Arena, and then the internet crapped out because we have fucking Comcast?
Oh my
I felt so
God.
bad for you. I was like, are you serious?
We had gone in there the first time, and we couldn't get the last boss down, and we went in the second time, and we had like 5 attempts on the last boss, and the last attempt was going super smooth. And the part where we would always die at is when he does a Nova. And Nova is, you've seen it, the Paladin skill, where he drops the big fireball that looks like a sun, and it's spinning and everything. Well, the boss does that. And the tank has to get out of its radius, otherwise you die like so fast.
Let's go kill him, dude.
So we ended up getting to that point where the Nova goes down. The Nova went flawlessly. Nobody was dead. Everybody was at full health. We were doing great damage on the boss. We were doing great damage on the ads that he pulls out. Everything was going perfect. And all of a sudden the internet craps out, and I can't continue. And that would have been the one time we did down the boss.
Sorry, my mouse is lagging.
And fortunately, we went in there again the next week, and we were able to do it in, I think we one-shotted the boss that time, now that we had all the mechanics down and everything.
When you said, and I can't continue, because you meant, like, I couldn't continue to kill the boss because our internet went down, I thought you meant, like, I can't continue talking about this because I'm, like, getting emotional. Like, that's what I thought.
Well,
like, I'm getting real. Is someone cutting onions? That fucking boss. That's what I...
Are you burning these ballistae?
I hit E, and now it won't let me hit
You gotta go around to the back of it.
You know your mom... No, sorry.
But yeah, so that's a great example of why there's a lockout in World of Warcraft. Because in the lockout, you could do those first 9 rounds, and then you can spend the rest of the week doing the last boss. The benefit to Elder Scrolls...
It essentially gives you the ability to come back to it. Is that right? Am I understanding that correctly?
You didn't get that first one.
No, I didn't. Where's it at?
Yeah,
right.
and the benefit to Elder Scrolls Online is most of the trials are actually pretty short. There's 3-4 bosses.
Yeah, it's not quite the same.
And what that means is...
Not so damn cumbersome. And
and what that means is you can do it repeatedly. I've run Ethereum Archive 5 times in one day, and you get loot 5 times.
You can kind of grind and...
As opposed to... And that's why the raids were so long in World of Warcraft, is it had to last the full week.
Yeah.
So you finished it. Say you got to the point where you finished it the first day. What are you doing for the rest of the week? You're locked out. You can't go in there. That's where people start doing alts and things like that. But the point is that that's for the hardcore gamer. And trials are a perfect example of why this game isn't exactly for the hardcore gamer.
It's for the kinds of patient people who want to just sit there and grind and grind and grind and do the same redundant shit.
Yes, it is. It is a very casual player geared game.
I need to light this on fire.
Yes, the siege ladder's over here. You don't, but you got a couple things attacking you. Go ahead and light the ladders.
Oh, thank you. I didn't see those guys that I pissed off. Thank you. Because I'm bad at life.
Yeah, so assuming that the core base of the Elder Scrolls Online fans that play the game are those casual players,
right?
I'd say this game, as it stands right now, given the justice system and the champion system being included, I think that's enough. That worst case scenario, the game crumbles and nobody plays it anymore, and I'm wandering around Tamriel by myself. I'm still okay with that.
Right.
It's not as good of a game. I still love Scarydoo, and obviously you can't do anything other than PvE in Scarydoo without other players. But I think the game is good enough where it's at now. And the bottom line is, it's not as it is now. They are still releasing content updates. They are still taking $15 a month to do full content updates just as before.
And quite frankly, these dudes are flexible. If for some reason it just tanks and they lose all their subscriptions, you think they want to go broke? They've put so much into this. Honestly, I don't think this is very likely to happen. I don't think it'll be a problem. You're not going to have nobody playing. You're going to have them changing the model until it does work. They're pretty flexible. They're pretty bright. You know, they're not gonna let the game tank for no reason.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be The Sims Online. You know.
Yeah, this was all a ruse, by the way. I don't know if you saw that. He was telling us that we burned that siege equipment, but it was all a ruse. They're actually tearing down the north wall while
I do remember this.
While we were wasting time on that, they were.
I remember this now.
So now we gotta go protect.
It's all storylines I very vaguely remember from the first time we played. It's pretty
neat. Well, that's why we're doing this, is so that we can go through the storyline again with a little bit more detail and understand the story a little bit better.
Well, unfortunately for me, I'm too distracted by talking but you know.
You haven't missed anything. I cut in with anything that's going on.
Let's also be honest. If we weren't doing the stream, I would instead be distracted by chips and salsa.
Well, fair enough.
And Trace like Chase from La Superior. Hey, who wants to sponsor us, La Superior? All the Spanish speakers out there. Sorry.
Having eaten one salad in 2 days, I hate you for.
Oh, I'm really sorry. I forgot about that. Yeah, you don't have good eating.
So the other news, because I think we've pretty much covered the pros and the lack of cons.
Okay, I got knocked over.
Regarding the buy-to-play system. The other big news with that is the console release has been announced.
Oh, that's right.
Although that does lead me into one other thing. That guy's in a wall. We can't hit him.
Yeah, I noticed.
That happens every time over here.
Oh, does it?
Yep. And
that's hilarious.
So that brings me back to one other thing regarding this, and it as it relates to the console release. The console release is going to bring. I think it's going to double, if not triple, the player base. Now, that being said, those are different servers. It's not. What's the word? I can't think of the word.
Wait, what was yours?
It's not cross-platform is the word I was looking for, which is not even a word, it's a hyphen.
Oh, you know what? I didn't ask you anything about this, so I am interested in knowing more.
Yeah, well, the PS4
because,
and the Xbox
you know, we
One,
only PC, so
yeah, hashtag PC Master Race.
Yeah, I know, that's so sketchy. I know, internet, I know.
There's a few games that have dabbled with cross-platform. And in fact, here's some news. The Fable series is coming out with a new game, Fable Legends or something like that. I forget what it's called.
Oh, I heard it. That's right.
Yes, and Microsoft just announced today two things. First of all, great news. Windows 10 was announced, and it will be
that's right.
It will be free to upgrade for anybody using Windows 7, 8, or 8.1.
That is very literally Microsoft apologizing to most PC users,
Well, I'm surprised that they allow it for the Windows 7, because it's one thing if they say, we screwed up on Windows 8, here's the next one, go ahead.
But been waiting years to upgrade. As a result, they're no longer supporting XP.
That's an extremely good point.
Vista was a disaster. Half of the people that went to 7 did it because Vista was such crap.
Which is unfortunate, because the computer you're on, part of the problems with it is that it is a Vista computer with Windows 7
Yeah.
installed on it.
Well, and it being a Dell, of
Well,
course.
that's the main issue. Here is, by the way...
Oh, that's Big Boss.
Yeah, this is Balreth, I believe.
I remember him. I remember, like, I died 15
This
times
is-
the first time we
You
played.
know
Hopefully
how
I'll get better.
in Deshaun there's the whole storyline of the Plague?
Yeah.
This is the storyline of
Enter the portal.
I love the
of,
Plague storyline.
of
It's one of my
Stonefalls.
favorites.
Stonefalls. The
Uh-huh.
storyline is basically what's going on here is you'll remember the Daggerfall Covenant was attacking Bleak Rock Isle, and we had to rescue the villagers from the attack. And so then we managed to escape there. We get to Bal Foyen. We go to
Yeah.
that tower. We find out the Daggerfall Covenant is attacking here as well.
Yeah.
So we get that letter. We light the signal fires to notify Davin's Watch from Bal Foyen. And then we go to rescue the docks because they were attacking both the docks and the fort. We could only rescue one, so we rescued the docks. And after rescuing the docks, they sent us to go check on Davin's Watch as I continue to load.
Good, because I'm tweeting right now.
And so we went to Davin's Watch, and that's where we found out that the signal fire did alert them in time to prepare for the Daggerfall Covenant, yet they still need assistance defending against the Daggerfall Covenant's attack. So that's what we did. We went to burn the siege weapons. That was all a ruse. It turned out they were attacking from the north wall, and I'm still not loading.
Oh, shit.
I hope it's not an infinite load screen. And with that, they decided that in order to defeat the Daggerfall Covenant attack, they were going to summon the demon Balreth. I don't know if he's a demon. He's a... I don't know what he is. But what he is a big flaming giant thing. And that's where we're at right now, is using him to help us defeat the Daggerfall Covenant. And I'm still on a load screen.
Well, while you figure that out... Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, I don't understand hashtags because I'm a grandpa, so if my tweet and the hashtags look stupid, I'm really sorry. I tried to get it right. And I was listening, by the way. I was just trying to understand hashtags and things.
I'm going to close my game out, I think, because this is not, in fact, loading.
You can watch his lovely face as he does so. And his hat hair. Beautiful hat hair.
So, okay, back to what I was talking about with...
Sorry, yes.
The console release. If you look at the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim...
Yeah. We were talking about oh, never mind. We were talking about Windows, and I got sidetracked with that.
Okay. Oh, to finish that thought.
That's what I figured.
Along with that announcement of Windows 10 being free for Windows 7, 8, and 8.1 users, the other announcement was, and this will lead me perfectly back into what I was talking about. The new Fable game.
Enter your password, my dear.
Yeah, sorry. The new Fable game is going to be cross-platform. They are going to release it for PC. Thank God, because I love the Fable series. I love the original Fable. 2 and 3 were okay. I didn't care for them as much.
What is your problem?
I
thought all Fables were pretty good.
Well, they are good. I'm just saying I like the first one the best. And I hated when Fable 2 was not released for the PC. I remember playing Fable 3, so I imagine that was released for the PC, because I did, in fact, play that all the way through. But they were unsure if they were going to release it for the PC. They announced today they will release it. It does have multiplayer aspects to it. I'm not sure what those multiplayer aspects are. I don't know if it's going to be an open world. I don't know if it's going to be an MMO. I don't know what they're doing with it. But it will be cross-platform, so someone playing on an Xbox One can play with a PC player. So you can play two separate platforms. And I have to go through this goddamn portal again.
Yeah, I figured you would. Well, it's not that far. You're so close.
So, that being said...
By the way, Elder Scrolls Off the Record totally stole everybody because we had more people watching last time and we fucking sucked last time.
That's alright, I'll post it on YouTube and everything. And
everybody can watch the YouTubes of me drinking drinkable yogurt.
So, Elder Scrolls Online is not cross-platform, but the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim sold more on the Xbox 360 than on the PlayStation 3 and PC combined.
I didn't know that. I mean, everybody who I know was
if I'm not mistaken.
No, you might be. I mean, everybody who I know was very into it on PC, but I don't know a whole lot of people because I'm not popular. So
We got a Sky Shard up here. Sky Shard!
Sky Shard.
Sky Shard!
Sorry, I'm gross.
You're not gross.
I make poop jokes a lot.
And so,
that constitutes gross. I'm sorry.
It's okay. And so while I get the Sky Shard, while Elder Scrolls Online is not cross-platform, it still will be a growing player base in general.
Oh, absolutely.
With the release of the console version. And that's what ties it back into the buy-to-play discussion.
Okay.
This is no more than a advanced free trial, basically.
Yeah?
A very advanced one, because you don't get a whole lot more.
It's like beta, except it fucking works.
Yeah, and you don't. We rescued everybody, so that's why everybody's cheering for us.
Oh.
I love when games do that.
Well, thank you, because my ponytail looks fake, and yeah, I don't know.
So you'll get the increased player base with the buy-to-play.
Oh yeah, it's huge. It doesn't. I mean, a few people leave PC because they like their Xbox better. No big deal, and it'll be a lot of people who don't like playing on PC. I mean, there are those people. I don't get it.
I'm talking about the buy-to-play in general.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Being that it's no subscription, there's a lot of people who bought the game, subscribed for a month, didn't like the game.
Yeah.
They haven't bothered to come back to the game. A lot of these people will love the game now with the changes that have been made, the improvements that have been made.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It'll get, well. I mean, you know, other platforms or not other platforms. That again, that's the huge thing that I heard people praising it for today. I am coming back to this game to try it out again.
Well, and that's the big thing, because there's a lot of people who, if they did come back, would be pleased with the game and be willing to pay.
I completely agree.
They're not willing to pay the $15 to find out if it's worth it or not.
But you know
now
what?
they don't have to.
I can't begin to describe how many people will probably be willing to play after they've given it another try.
Yes.
I mean, I played a little bit of the glitchy beta with you early on, and I'm terrible at video games. I'm very new to them in general. And as much as I enjoyed it, I can see where a hardcore gamer who's very nitpicky wouldn't necessarily like it so much. This game has changed monumentally since the beginning. I mean, just it's almost a different game, and it's because people listen to, or ZeniMax listens to what people have to say.
That's exactly it. And there's a couple more updates. In fact, that was part of the announcement today, was that the update 1.6, the justice system, or at least the first part of the justice system and the main part of the champion system, is going into effect on the public test server next week.
That's awesome. That's really awesome.
Yes, because it's usually about a month or so from it going onto the PTS before it goes live.
Yeah.
And regardless of when it goes live, people can now go in and check out on the PTS all the different stuff. So that's right around the corner. That's another huge, huge update that's going to make the game even better than it already is. I think a lot of the people who left the game before could come back and think this is a game worth playing now.
Yeah,
but you add in that update 1.6, that's going to just throw it over the top.
I agree. Well, and I'm gonna say something. I mean, regarding back to the cross-platform thing, or that it's not cross-platform, but PlayStation, Xbox. I mean, let's be honest here. These are people who are used to paying for a stupid-ass fee. And I'm sorry to call it stupid, but you're paying for Xbox Live, or if it's called something different now, I do not know, because last time I played Xbox was a 360.
PlayStation Network and Xbox Live.
Right. So you're paying for PSN. You're paying for Xbox Live. You're literally paying to connect your console to the internet. You're paying to have the ability to play games on a platform that you've already purchased while paying for internet. I mean, because I have to pay for that on PC. Yes. While paying for the game, while paying for a subscription to literally even be able to play the game, even if you're playing it single player, which to me is kind of batshit. And that's not to do the whole, PC superiority thing. Again, I'm not really a gamer. I kind of just use the internet a lot. But I think I lost you. Are you back through this gate? I thought you went through here.
No. Yes, you do.
You're not Captain Swartz?
Yeah, you need to go through that gate. You went in a complete different direction.
I thought I was following you on the horse.
No,
my bad.
In fact, not.
I must have been following someone else on a horse, and
I'm gonna get you.
Well, I'm running, and I'll stop here. But I think that's huge. I mean, you have people who are already willing to do that, and here's a game where you buy it, you're already paying your Xbox Live, PSN, whatever. Now you have this game that after you purchase the game, it's free to play multiplayer. That's that's fun. And then again, if you like it and you want to expand it, then expand it. I mean, their DLCs are nothing to scoff at. Every time they have an update, yes, it takes a freaking year to download on our terrible internet. I love it when I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play ESO. I'm all geared up for it because I'm lazy and I have to work myself up to playing a game and like getting off the couch. And I'm all geared up, and then it's like a 6-hour update. But those updates are always massive. I mean, they're always extremely important. They're good ones. And any smaller updates are always enjoyable. People are always excited about the updates.
Oh, yeah.
I can't think of any time they, like, updated something, and people were like, man, like, across the board, were like, wow, that's total crap. I wish they'd go back to the way it was. They tend to be good. It's probably worth your money, and you're already willing to pay a subscription for it if you're playing it.
Yeah. Well, and that being said, you know, it's you're buying your Xbox or PlayStation. You're buying the game for $60 or $80 or whatever it's going for.
Where are you?
How did you lose me? I was right in front of you.
I don't know. Did you turn here or something?
No, I didn't turn anywhere.
Did you go through this gate?
Nope, I went through. Here, I'm coming to get you. Where the hell are you? Oh, there you are.
You did go through the gate, then I don't know how I lost you.
Well, that's an archway, not a gate. A gate is an actual doorway on a fence.
Because I lose you once I go through the archway. Oh, there.
Oh, okay. Anyways.
Your crown has disappeared. Oh, do I have the crown?
Yeah, you have the crown.
You want to fix that real quick?
You have to.
I know. I meant, do you want me to? What do you want to wait for me while I promote you to leader? I'm gonna kick you from the group, ass butt.
So you're already paying for the console. You're
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Paying for the game. You're paying for your online subscription through the console, the PlayStation Network, the Xbox Live. Now you also have to pay $50. That's expensive to play a game. And I think that there are plenty of people willing to pay it. But I think that opening up the game to a free option with less to it is the right way to go, because so many of those people will now play the game where they wouldn't before. And those who are willing to pay that extra amount, those who do make enough money, that do have a good enough finances, can choose to do so and get the extra benefits.
That is a phenomenal point that I kind of stupidly didn't even think of, because I'm thinking, okay, this very much coincides with the release of the console compatible games.
Yes.
I didn't consider that. I mean, I'm sitting here talking about the fact that you're willing to pay a subscription fee, but not only that, they don't want to stack yet another payment onto that. It makes so much sense why those things coincide, which you just said. And then on top of that, what are you going to charge the PC players $15 when you're not charging anyone else? That's idiotic. It makes perfect sense. Otherwise, it's really not going to be easy to establish a fan base on those consoles.
Yes.
Or at the very least, especially because they're not cross-platform, which I think is kind of nice, because the gameplay is always a little different. I mean, it's not going to be monumentally different, but it can be kind of a pain.
Yeah.
I think that makes perfect sense. Why would you want to stack, like, essentially a fourth or a fifth fee on top of people? Nobody's going to want to do that. There are so many games that once you're on, say, PlayStation Network, you can sit there and play Halo and be fine.
Yeah.
You're not paying a subscription for that. I mean, to my knowledge.
That
does make great sense, and again, they're not going to... Oops, I pissed that guy off, sorry.
That's fine, just ride past him and get through here.
You're not going to stick the PC players with it. It actually is a good way... It's not just a matter of, like, being decent to the fans, because it's partly that, it's partly... nobody's going to want to play it if they have to pay an 18th subscription fee.
Yeah.
Nobody. I mean, it's different with PC. You don't have... a middleman network that you have to connect to play anything.
Well, and the theme of the Elder Scrolls, and it continues with the Elder Scrolls Online, is choice.
Yeah.
Giving you choice.
That's huge.
You can choose to play it for free for lesser. This guy just killed the goddamn
shit. I just
boss. So,
oh, fun. We have to wait.
No,
we'll go do something else.
Skip it. I only came up here to see if it was up, and it was, and the guy.
It was till the guy killed it.
Yep.
He
So
ruined my life.
There's a way shrine over here we can get though. So, I feel like that was the correct way to go for both the console and the PC version.
Yeah.
Console's coming out in June. I felt like the removal of the 6-month subscription, I had a feeling right away that was an indication they were changing the subscription model.
You called it the day you saw it.
Yeah.
You were like, IMing me at work. Like, guess what they're doing? Oh,
and I also figured that if they were doing that, the reason was because the console release, for exactly what I just said,
And that
to limit the number of payments you have to make to play this game.
that has to be it, or a big part of it, and it makes sense. I mean, I'm sorry, you sit around the table, you're saying, okay, we're gonna roll this out for Xbox. Now they gotta buy an Xbox, they gotta buy the game, they gotta pay for internet, they gotta pay for Xbox Live. Now they're gonna want to pay $15 extra a month just to play this.
Well, and what are you going to make more money off with the console release?
Right.
Because like I said, I feel that this game is going to be massive on Xbox specifically,
Yes,
but
I think
consoles
so
in
too.
general, I think it's going to sell a lot more on consoles than it will for the PC.
Well, and
So, if you're-
PlayStation fans love a good storyline. I mean, that's one thing I've noticed about PlayStation games. You do get some amazing games with great storylines.
Yes.
This is one of those games.
And I feel like that with that customer base, you do have the issue of you're paying for your internet, you're paying for your console, you're paying for the PlayStation Network or the Xbox Live, and then you're paying for the game. That, if you have a subscription fee on top of that, that is going to drastically limit the number of people who buy the game.
Or who are even willing to try it. I mean,
And-
that's the other thing. There's no free to try anymore. Beta's done.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? You're going to spend $60 on a game
Well,
up
they-
front and then pay $15 at least for your first month to give it a try? I
They
mean,
could offer
they might have a
free-
trial month,
Yeah,
but
they could offer a free trial.
I know WoW does that too. So
Yeah, I don't know how that. Well, with the I haven't.
you want to talk to this bridge dude?
No, we're gonna go straight through
Okay.
and finish this quest line as best as we can.
Okay.
To try and keep it linear. We
Fair
can go
enough.
back and do those.
You're a lot
quests
better
and,
at
and
this than me.
we'll wrap up a quest before we started doing.
Right, I
quest line.
forgot we were doing that.
Yeah,
I get excited when I see quests.
and so I feel like
Well, who's this friggin' dude following us? Is this
I
the
don't
guy
know.
from
What
the quest, or is
who
it just
this
some
guy?
bro?
No, I think it's just some guy.
He's like, you guys are awesome.
Catches sky in his eyes.
That's
Oh,
Ryan.
I know who that is.
Who?
That's a guy from Twitter because he had
No way.
let me look this up. Hold on real quick. Because on his Twitter,
Is this a person who you actually interact with? Because that's pretty neat. It's like because he's just sitting there like while we're not moving.
he's
Shout out to Skies in your eyes.
it's gotta be this guy. He's in my notifications here. He's
That's awesome.
Hansel von Darkslag. And it says right here, I'm laying on my back now, the stars look all too near, flowers on the razor wire, I know you're here. That to me
That's a
sounds
fucking
similar
poet.
to the Argonian name
Yeah.
Catches Sky in his eyes.
It does. Ask him if he's catches Sky in his eyes. Ask him on Twitter. We're tweetable.
I just asked him if he's that guy on Twitter.
That's awesome. Are you that guy on Twitter?
So, I think that the console release is going to be huge for the game. I think the buy-to-play was the correct route to go, especially for the console release, because it will vastly increase the number of game purchases, and they'll make a lot more money on the game purchases than they would on the subscriptions.
Without screwing the people who pay,
Well, and
and
that's-
without making it pay to win, because that's obnoxious for fucking everybody. Nobody likes that shit.
Well, and the
I don't
beauty-
want to be playing Farmville, and I don't think that's going to be a problem.
The beauty
You
of
second.
the beauty of the way they changed the system
Mhm.
is you don't alienate the people who aren't willing to pay the subscription.
Right.
So you do still make money off of more game copy sales.
Yeah,
But you still
that's huge too.
you still make a portion of your $15 a month from the people who want the Plus account. And there will be a lot of people who do in fact want the Plus account.
Oh yeah. Oh, I agree. I think even console players who would not be willing to bother with it, and you know what? Even a free month won't necessarily do this. But you play a free couple of months, you get into it, and again, you run into content where you're like, oh, I want that. I want to finish that up. Especially when, like you were saying, you get to the higher levels, and it's pretty hard to say no to that. You might get that, and that money does help the development. The more popular this game gets, the more good stuff they can develop, and they do develop good, enjoyable content. I also want to be self-aware and point out how many hilarious times we both, primarily me, but both of us, went down the list of stuff that console players have to pay for. Like, we like, and just
I will
like,
repeat. Hashtag PC Master Race.
I'll repeat the list if I have to. I kind of get a kick out of it.
How's that Skyrim on that Xbox 360 with your 0 mods? Yeah, I will say that every single day. Every single day. This guy is telling us here that the ritual to rebind Balreth is not working, so now Balreth is running loose apparently, so we have to put a stop to that.
Okie dokie. Is that guy from Twitter? Did he reply?
No, he did not, but I'm pretty sure it
So
is.
mysterious with his poetic name.
He may be doing that thing that I was doing the other day, where
stalking people.
I had nothing to do, so I just picked a random player that was running by, and I followed them to help them out with whatever they were doing.
Didn't I do that with you one time where we were just fighting shit off and like kind of grinding a little bit like a while back?
Well,
though?
that was grinding itself. That's where you players will find, and this happens in any MMO. Somebody's going to end up finding the most efficient way to level up and gain experience.
Yeah,
And
you join a group like that.
know,
It's
I'm
really.
gonna go ahead and just invite him to a group.
You should, because I love how he's like he even stops when we stop. It's pretty adorable.
I gotta figure out where we're going here.
I want to see him play a lute. It would go with his name and his Argonianness.
Who plays an Argonian?
I should have awesome people. I should have made my name runs with Rousdower or something like Zaps with Rousdower. It should have been an Argonian and been Zaps with Rousdower.
You should have named it Rouse with Zapdowers.
That I like. In Soviet Russia.
Rouse Zaps Dower.
Zap Rousdower's you. Could have made a Larry Zonka joke too, but that's a little more involved.
Let's see here. I'm pleased to see a friendly
Pleased
snout.
to see a friendly snout.
Oh, the Argonians crack me up so much.
Lately. Just read some old runes, he said. He didn't mention
Hey,
you're the
dude.
sun on my scales.
Shout out to my yogurt that's making a prominent appearance right there.
Can we get some advertisement money for your yogurt?
That's what I was saying, because I was saying, oh, I got it from La Superior, and I was like, hey, for the Spanish speakers, get a little, what's it called, the closed captioning with the SAP or whatever. Get a little of that,
Well,
get a little sponsorship.
Those are two different things. Closed captioning is
It's for the deaf, correct? And then
then
I said SAP, which
SAP is for the Spanish.
I corrected it. Goddamn! Didn't need a double correction. What am I, an Xbox player? Do I need to have it hammered in 60 times? Come on. Do I need to have it in there 360 times? Bad joke. I'm sorry.
So he knew ancient
He
secrets.
died a long
How else?
time
He
ago.
helped buy
Oh,
That's my best Argonian impression, and I gotta say that was actually pretty good. That I surprised at myself with how good that was.
I want to. That was hilarious. I want to. You need a little more squeak in it. Like that didn't work either. I want to apologize for the constant yawning that I'm doing. It's not because I'm bored. It's not because you're boring. The subject is good. I'm having a great time. I just roll out of bed around 5:50 in the morning on a good day, and don't wake up until about noon. So, just tired, not bored.
That's the story of my life. I don't think I've gone a day in my life since like elementary school where I was not just tired all day every day.
Yeah, I mean,
Just always tired. Which is why I have This is not Elder Scrolls.
shut up while I yawn. No, I'm just kidding.
This is not Elder Scrolls or video game related, but it is hilarious. My lovely girlfriend over here, Scarydoo,
Oh,
she subscribed me for Birchbox,
oh,
which is
I need to resubscribe.
which is a subscription for it's similar to I can't think of the name of it. There's a video game one where they send you neat little knickknacks for No, but it's literally the exact same thing where they send you a box of goodies every month.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but
I
anyway,
feel like more people will know about Birchbox, even the gamers.
fair enough. Birchbox
Pretty big
is any care products basically, shampoos
I
and
remember those.
colognes and shave creams and facial scrubs.
For the women, it's you get a lot of makeup and skincare, hair care. Men and perfume, men tend to get the same things, but no makeup.
Yes.
Because for whatever reason, he refuses to wear purple lipstick. I don't know.
Unless I'm playing my Kunari in Dragon Age Inquisition.
Oh yeah, he's hilarious.
Which is
We
more
should
of a hot pink, but that's all right.
we should change our header to that guy just because
be
he's fucking hilarious.
So was it a holiday thing or something they were doing?
I don't know
where
what
they-
the story, so I'll tell you in a
well,
minute.
they let her pick one of two
Oh!
items, handpick
Yes.
Because normally they just send you whatever, and you can put your preferences and stuff, but they just send you random stuff. But on this particular occasion, they let her pick one of 2 different things.
It's not a holiday thing. It's a thing they recently started doing because people get pissy about the stuff they get. And so they're like, okay, well, now you have 2 choices, and you have to get in early enough. Otherwise, they'll be like, we're out. Sorry, you don't get a choice.
So the choice was between, she doesn't remember, it was something crappy.
Shitty and stupid.
Yeah, something shitty and stupid. And the other choice was a flask that says hair of the dog. It's like etched in it.
I know where you're going.
It's a really neat, nice little flask and everything.
Buy my egg.
I'm not...
It's cute. It's like, what, 2 shots, 1.5 shots?
It's 3 shots.
3 shots.
And I don't drink liquor. I used to drink vodka. Even when I was drinking vodka, I don't have a use for a flask because I'm not a drinker on the go.
Free massive ass bottle of Costco brand vodka, which is Grey Goose, to whoever wants to pay shipping because somebody got it as a gift and then somebody switched to wine.
Yes, I drink wine now. I'm a red wine fanatic, and that's all I drink. It's a good drunk. So I don't have a use for this flask, but it's a really nice flask. I kind of like it just as decor anyways. I don't really care about, whether or not I'm going to get use out of it. But then...
We have our little boozy spot on the kitchen counter with, I've got, mostly gin and a few other cute things, and it goes well over there. It makes us look like we drink more alcohol than we actually do.
And so, my use for the flask, because I'm always tired...
Yeah, we both are.
And I'm always drinking, we both are always drinking coffee and, well, they're not 5-hour energies, they are Kirkland...
They're the Costco brand of 5-hour energies.
Costco brand Kirkland Power Shots, but
yeah, they're 5-hour, by the way.
Yes.
Kirkland Power Shots.
They're
so
5-hour Kirkland Power Shots.
They have the same packaging. They taste less gross.
So I decided that I would put my flask to good use.
Did I use this? Hold up, no, I didn't.
Oh, that's wonderful. Let's do this again.
Wait, you
have to use this, and then it does like a ritual
thing.
I
thought I did.
And that's what we were killing all those guys for.
I like killing shit in this game. It's like my favorite part of this game, so let's do it again.
And so...
By the way, it's called a brazier. What the hell? Sorry.
No, it's called a brazier.
I know, but I know.
So
I heard him say it.
I'll just because it's
sorry.
The whole crescendo of the story is kind of over now. But
I'm so sorry.
I think everybody's figured out. I poured 5-hour energies into my flask, and I keep it at my desk at work now. So now I look like an alky at work drinking 5-hour energies out of a flask.
I'm pretty sure everybody will simply be jealous, and because everybody there is either a drinker or wants to be drinking on the job.
That was kind of my only concern, is if people think there's alcohol if they try to sneak a swig out of it and it's 5-hour energy.
Oh my god, I want some idiot to try to drink a freaking swig of the drinking container on your desk. I can think of one person who's tacky enough to do that. I won't name it. Yeah. That would be hysterically funny because that stuff, especially when you're not expecting it, it tastes pretty. It's pretty potent. Pretty potent.
Okay, you're done now.
Every now and then, I'm sleepy enough in the morning to be holding this tiny little 5-hour energy container, and I still think in my head I'm about to drink coffee, and I get real shocked by the flavor. So I can actually see that being hysterically funny.
Okay, so. It looks like we lit the braziers, we did the little ritual, and now we're summoning Mavos, because he's going to know how to rebind Balreth, because he was the guy who originally bound Balreth.
Oh.
Be gathering my notes.
Okay, let's see here.
Catch the sky in my eyes, making me think of pie in the sky, and I really want pie now.
You want pie?
You want pie? Yes,
I do.
Because I like
salad in 2 days.
I know you're starving. I understand that your body is probably in starvation mode, but at the same time, I like pie better than anyone else. So I think I can claim
this
that.
guy looks kind of cool. Look at this guy's gear. Doesn't that look cool?
Yeah, extremely.
Look, he's got like a winged helmet and stuff. That looks really cool. Okay, let's hear what Mavos has to say.
So, you're the Gua who raised me. This had better be astonishingly important.
Balreth, the brother of strife, is ravaging Stonefalls.
The greatest mage of my
It's almost 7:30. If you wanna,
yeah, we'll
I don't mind. I
in
just
just
don't
a second. I think we're about to level, so we'll go ahead and level.
Dear
and then
God,
we'll
I meant to
call it
hit
a night.
goodbye, and I kept clicking follow-ups. Yeah, good call on the leveling.
Skeletons weren't
I'm really sorry I completely ruined your 5-hour energy in your flask story. Although, boy, 5-hour energy is probably more hair of the dog than any alcohol I've ever tasted.
You know, I think about that when I look at it. I'm like, this is hair of the dog. You're damn right it is.
That'll put hair on your chest.
Okay, I can't see how... Oh, I'm very close to leveling, and I think you are too, so we'll go ahead and level. We'll wrap this up. I think we had a good discussion about why nobody should be panicking about the buy-to-play. I think everything's going to be just fine in this game.
We followed it up with some insults for console players.
And a great anecdote about my 5-hour flask.
And a lot of yawns. Count.
Okay.
Somebody count the yawns.
We need to get the candle and the something else. The candle and the skull from these chests, and in order to open the chest...
I remember this.
We need to match the colors to the big ones up above, so it's yellow, blue, yellow. So we need to change these little guys to yellow, blue, yellow, and that will unlock the chest, which, by the way, that chest is already open, so that's really dumb.
Was this the quest that when we initially did it, it was completely glitched out and we were, like, enraged? I feel like
No, that's a different quest.
Different quest?
Yeah, that's actually still in Bal Foyen, I think.
Is it still glitched?
No,
Just kidding.
I don't remember where that was
See,
at.
this is where your money goes. If you get the plus, when it goes, free and you get the plus, your money goes to fixing the glitchy ass quests.
Well, your money will go to that, but the
I'm
glitch,
joking.
the glitch fixes will be for everybody, free and pay.
I was being facetious, but I am glad you clarified that for like the one person who's like,
I was gonna say, we don't want to be a source of
Scarydoo
misinformation.
told me that I'm gonna have a glitchy game permanently because that's not what I meant. But I do tend to say lies to amuse myself. So
no, but the more money they have, the more resources they have to fix those glitches. So in that respect, it is true. No, this quest I did not realize.
Dude, thank you.
When I first did it, and I think when we both first did it, that the color scheme is right above it.
Oh, that's what it was, because I remember there being something very frustrating that we struggled with, and that must have been it. I also remember the one with the ghosts.
You know what it took me? This is so dumb. In Skyrim, it took me the longest time. There's these locked doorways that's like a, it's like a 3-ring door, where there's a middle ring, and then 2 outer rings are power. It's like a bullseye, basically.
Yeah.
And on it are symbols. There's 3 different symbols. There's a bear, a bird, and a fish.
Yes.
And you rotate each one, because each ring has all 3 of those, and you have to get the correct combination.
Yes.
And you run into one of these in the very start of the game. This is red, yellow, blue. In the very start of the game, I forget the name of the place. It's a little dungeon area. And you run into one of these doors, and I'm like, motherfuck. I'm just going to go through one by one and try every combination. And of course, thank you, Bethesda, in your infinite wisdom for making the correct combination be the very last one that I try. I didn't realize there's a key that you also use. It's the Golden Claw. If you look at the Golden Claw, it has the combination. Bear, I don't remember if it's that one in the beginning. I think the one in the beginning, there's little stones that have them on it, and you just follow the stones.
Yeah.
But some of them actually have it right on the key, and you have to actually go into your inventory, and when, you know how, you go in the inventory, it shows you a little image of it, and it's rotating or whatever. And that's where it shows the combination,
funny.
and I did not know that. So every time I ran into one of those,
I
would sit there and just do one at a time. Okay, I tried that. No, I tried that one. No, that didn't work. It took me forever to figure that out.
That reminds me of genuinely one of the reasons. Now, I was very young when I got this game, but I was probably like 9, 10. This is truly one of the reasons that I've given up on video games, because I struggle with things like that. And it reminds me of that Myst meme that I posted. And I will, if it's okay with you, I don't even have the password. It's probably one of your normal ones. But to the the Dues and Tamriel Twitter, if you'll allow it, if you don't mind, I'll post that meme to it. But it's for Myst, and for anyone who played Myst or Riven back in the 90s, which were amazing games. But the meme...
I'm sorry to cut you. I would not be surprised to find that a lot of Elder Scrolls fans indeed did play
this. Absolutely. I mean, those were very ethereal world with as far as I know, because I didn't fucking finish the fucking game.
Why did you do that?
I didn't mean to. I meant to hit W for walk, and I hit E. I swear to God, I did not mean to go through that portal.
That's okay. That I can understand, but you're gonna have to load the screen again. I'll just sit here and wait.
Sorry.
That's okay. We're so close to leveling.
So yeah, well, I fucked that up.
That's okay.
So anyway, the meme just it says exactly how I feel in situations like you were saying with the Skyrim things, and especially in Myst, where it's literally like I've been I've been staring at this fucking lever for 3 hours, and it's so true. Like I don't know. There's no clues.
Can I just say?
I'm sure there's something, but I'm so glad that other people had that struggle. And remind me to post that because people need to see it.
I just read an article
okay,
today.
W. Sorry.
I just read an article today for a game, and I can't remember the name of it. And the guy was complaining that the game was intentionally, because that's what a lot of that's why the gamer industry is so huge now. Because a lot of people oh, we can start going here.
I know, you're just holding a cigarette and waving it around, so I figured I'd
It's because of never mind.
Because you're a smoker.
Yes, but that's one of the things that a lot of games make sure they do is give you the tutorial, make sure you know exactly how to play the game, because there's no point in spending 3 years and $100 million on a game that nobody ends up knowing how to play it.
Yep, and Myst did not do this, and this was early internet.
You'll hear
I'm
this
sure
a lot.
I could have looked it up, but I was like 9.
You'll hear this a lot with people who played Skyrim and or Oblivion. They a lot of times will say, I started playing Morrowind, and after about 10 minutes I gave up, because it does not tell you what to do. You have to listen to the dialogue, you have to read the books, you have to read the journals, and figure out where it's taking you to. Yes, it is.
I think Myst was like that too. There were a lot of books, I think, that you picked up, documents, they had clues, but it confused the shit out of me because I was a child.
Okay, we have to take what's in this pouch and close the portal.
I was probably sounding words out, let's be honest.
And, yeah, the article I was reading was basically a guy saying, video games make me feel smart. And what he meant by that was...
They make me feel dumb.
What he meant by that was this game, while he loved the aspect of that it doesn't hold your hand, because that's the thing, is that's what games do now, is they try to hold your hand, and sometimes they do it too much, and they borderline play the game for you in some ways.
See, I don't even know that because I don't play games enough, so I'm actually really curious. I mean, shit, maybe I should have started, I would have felt smarter.
You know, they get, you know, things like, oh, I just leveled up, sweet!
Nice.
So
I haven't quite,
like,
but I'll be there.
Things as simple as quest markers in Elder Scrolls games, or most games now have quest markers. There's games...
oh yeah, I don't want to try to find that shit!
We gotta close this portal.
Closed it.
We're trying to close these portals so we could rebind Balreth. And, what he was saying is, this game was intentionally designed to not hold your hand in any way. And he said there's basically murder mysteries, and he came across like these severed legs on train tracks, and you could see a trail of blood.
That's extremely cool.
Problem is, he doesn't know what to do with it. He's following the trail of blood.
I was gonna say, did he follow the blood?
Yes, but you have to do something.
Kidding.
Think of Sherlock Holmes, the game, the Crime and Punishment.
It's never as simple as it looks.
In Crime and Punishment, it tells you... Oh, my bags are full. In Crime and Punishment, it tells you, press this button to discover this clue and figure this out, blah, blah, blah. In this game, it does not tell you that. So you find a clue, what do you do with it? Do you have to actually search the clue? Do you have to search for more clues? What do you do? It doesn't tell you, and you have to figure it out. And he was saying that first one that he ran into, he did not figure out how to do it until the end of the game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he was basically saying...
So that's how I feel in games, like, in my past experience, and it's been years since I've tried. But I just get frustrated, especially if I have to find my way around. Yeah. I get so confused. I want them to hold my hand. Please hold my hand.
I don't need those.
I'm so close to leveling. I'm sorry, I'm at 3% away.
Yeah, take your time.
Right behind you here.
And so, you know, he was basically making the point that, no, we don't want our hands held.
Right.
Or at least we don't want to know that our hands are being held.
Yes.
We want some sort of guidance, and he used a great analogy, Super Mario Brothers. Now, I don't know how much you remember of the...
I remember that one fairly
well. The original one, the very first level you start off, there's a couple of blocks above you, and then there's that first two. Everybody knows that very start of the very first level of Super Mario Brothers.
Yes.
He said, that right there is a tutorial. Because you see there's blocks, you see there's an enemy, And you either jump over it or you die, and you know
You
that
figure
you have
out how to
jump over
interact with it.
You're not my
Yeah.
ally.
When you jump, you're going to hit one of those blocks. You're going to find out. That's a way to guide someone through a game without holding their hand through it.
You ease them into it. It's gameplay,
Yes.
but you ease them into it. Well, and that's huge because you don't want to confuse the shit out of people. And honestly, I like mystery books, and I certainly don't want one that's easy to figure out. But one thing I hate is mysteries that are impossible to figure out.
Yeah.
Where you get to the end, which no good mystery is like this, but I have read some. You get to the end, and there was no way to figure it out. It was just haha, you get the ending. Neither of those things is fun. You have to have a balance.
I think the only
And then, like you said, I'm sorry, I was just going to say, like you said, it makes you feel smart. You get to kind of figure something out.
I think the only situation that style of non-hand-holding works is...
Let me make sure I got this other one. Oh, I did.
Yeah, it is when you're playing a puzzle game like Portal 2.
Yeah.
That's a game where you don't need any instructions. You can find out very easily that you shoot 2 different portals and they connect. And from there, good luck figuring out some of those later levels. They're really complicated, and you have to figure out how to make them work with the goop that squirts
but
out.
the point of it is a puzzle. You absolutely should not be walked through that. You know it's a puzzle. You have the tools to solve the puzzle.
I don't want a quest marker telling me where to shoot the portal.
Oh, hell no. There would be
defeats the
no
whole
point
purpose
to
of
the
the game.
game.
But in a
Well,
game...
and it's not a story-based game. I mean, it certainly has an excellent story. But it's not guiding you with the story. There's no reason for that.
Okay, we need to touch this. Mavos helped us,
How have I not left my
and now we have to bind Balreth here.
And load screen. And load screen. And load screen. And load screen dancing. Sorry. It's the sugar from the yogurt. Am I right?
Amen,
Can I get a
sister.
shout out?
Can I get a what?
Oh no.
No, I cannot.
Yo no. I'm terrible. Why do you like me?
Alright, so we've bound Balreth. Here's Mavos.
These pants suck. I have better ones.
I remember
Oh my god, I'm sorry for yawning so much.
something about a sheep.
Well, and the thing with Skyrim
I grew
and
weak holding him in place.
even this game, I mean, it's quest markers to get through it, but there's so much more to it. I mean, yes, you want to solve the mystery. Oh, I leveled finally. You want to solve the mysteries. You want to. Sorry, what's wrong?
I didn't realize we didn't bind Balreth. We went into Mavos' memory so he could remember how he originally bound Balreth. So what we need to do now we know we have to summon the 2 guardians in order to bind Balreth.
This is what we get for talking and not paying attention.
Yes.
Well, I just leveled, so there's
I
that
can't
one.
complete this quest. I need to get rid of something in my
I was gonna say,
inventory
aren't
real
you? I have plenty of bag space because I cleaned mine out. If you want to give me.
Yeah,
any.
I forgot to clean mine out. Okay,
That's
so
because you were running late trying to get a freaking werewolf bite.
I think
I'm
that's,
going to hold on. I'm going to morph Daedric Curse here. I think. Let me see. Do I want Explosive Curse? I want Velocious Curse. I think. Do you want to help me look at these? I do think I want Velocious Curse, but let me know if I'm
let
wrong.
me see the other one. Yeah, go ahead and get that one.
It's the one I have.
What's the other one? Increased radius? Yeah, you don't need that.
Okay, thank you. I was correct, but I wanted to confirm it with the seasoned person who
I might be
sucks at
100%
maps.
wrong on that. I've never played
I don't know.
and-
You know what? Part of it is that I recognize that I'm pretty sure that's what I morphed it to on our other characters. So, although I've reset those since then. What was I gonna say? I don't remember now.
Let me increase... No, I don't want to increase that. I'll do that later. Okay, so I think that wraps it up for today. We had a great discussion. You can find us on Twitter at Dues in Tamriel. We're on Twitch, obviously, twitch.tv/DuesInTamriel. You can email us at duesandtamriel@gmail.com.
Do you detect a pattern?
We are
You?
also now
Waka
on
waka, sorry.
we're on iTunes via Podomatic as well as Beyond Pod, and you just have to search for podcasts for Dues and Tamriel, and you'll be able to find us there and subscribe, and you will get updated episodes when they are released. And
our individual Twitters. He is Scarydrew86 because again, and I'll do the bitching for him. Scarydrew was taken by a guy who's tweeted one time.
This is you want to hear? And she's at _burials. This guy.
Send me taxidermized things, huh? Sorry.
This guy has one tweet, and he's taken Scarydrew, and he's following me.
He's following you?
He's following me, which means he's been on Twitter to follow me.
That's
Delete
hilarious.
your account so I can have @Scarydrew. Well, now I have an established Twitter, but
that is so fucking funny. I know I would. I'd be like, sucks for you. You got to be Scarydrew86. You got people know how old you are.
It's a worthless account. Mine is not. I should have @Scarydrew, but I digress. So that does it for tonight. Thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you for those of you who joined in the Twitch stream, and we hope to see you next time. Good night, everybody.
Bye. I was gonna make another joke. Good thing I didn't. Turn it off.